Tell me a sound that's better than this.
Hello YouTube. So recently this week I just did a 5-plate dip, 100 kilos attached to the belt, right down, whatever the equivalent is of ass to grass for, I don't know, chest to bar or chest below the bar for dips. I sunk right down, got back up, and as you can imagine, I feel quite good about myself. I feel like the man.
No big deal, but ça va.
And it's fair to say that I've been doing this the past couple of years with a lot of my lifts, and I'm sure a lot of people are starting to wonder, like, how the hell is this guy doing this? Whether it be with the strength standards I'm achieving with my lifts, or even with my physique. They're like, how is he getting stronger? How is he getting bigger? I don't think I can talk about the two in the one video because we'll be here all day and I don't have all day. I want to get my steps up and do a sauna before my clients come in. So I'm going to stick to the strength part. So recently the weighted dip was such a milestone. Wow. If you're wondering what is wrong with me, I do wonder that myself. I like doing the cycle stuff.
Woohoo! You like the freaky stuff, huh?
Like, if it terrifies me, that's the thing that keeps me coming back for more.
Those numbers up, those are rookie numbers in this racket.
So the first thing I want to talk about is why I keep getting stronger. Is because a lot of the movements you see me do, I have been doing them for a long time. And when you do movements for a long time, you learn a lot about those movements. And what I mean by learn, I don't mean like understanding like the theory of movement or like the muscles involved. That's all actually good to know, and you should understand the basic mechanics of a movement, what body parts are working throughout that movement. You should definitely have an understanding of that. But there's a difference between understanding the theory and knowing that versus coming into the gym and applying that every week and trying to get as strong as hell with that movement. Because when you stick with a movement for a really long time, you're going to run into a lot of roadblocks, and a lot of the time people are guilty of as soon as when a movement exercise gets tough, they're like, okay, I've done all I can here, goodbye. You've missed an opportunity for growth, to learn more about that movement and learn more about yourself, and that's a good way of never progressing with any movement. Like, do you think anyone who has a crazy outlandish lift, like a 300 kilo squat, 400 kilo deadlift, 100 kilo dip, do you think these people didn't meet roadblocks or plateaus at some point with that movement? Of course they did. And it's from those roadblocks that you learn more about the movement, how you move within it. And when you do that, it just gives you a lot more confidence towards that movement to keep going. And it gives you confidence towards the next roadblock you're going to face. And that's a good mindset to have. I wanted to give an example of the roadblocks I faced with certain movements and the adjustments I had to make. So regarding the dips, these clips are from 2023 when I went on the rampage with dips and got quite strong. The middle clip was the biggest achievement of that year in regards to the dips and my strength. I worked up to a 4-plate, 80 kilograms on the belt, 4-plate dip, and I was quite happy with that. But what got me to 4 plates was not going to be the thing that got me to a 5-plate dip. And if we go back to the beginning, you'll notice I start at the bottom of the dip, which is very unusual. Usually people start at the top, then lower themselves down and come back up. But for some reason, for the longest time, I just liked starting at the bottom. I felt like it tightened my body up from the very get-go. So something I had to start doing if I wanted to get up to 100 kilos was to actually start from the top and lower myself down. It sounds small and not that big of a deal, but there was no way in hell I was going to get a 100 kilo dip by starting at the bottom position. So I had to make that adjustment. With the Zercher squat, there were so many adjustments made along the way, from the walkout to losing the pad to footwear to my position of my torso, like not trying to keep it upright, allowing the spine to actually flex. These changes had to happen for this to happen, to get to a point where I can rep out 160 kilograms for reps and feel quite comfortable, feel quite safe, and feel really strong. And you already know, if you were following this channel, I posted so much to do with my bench press and getting up to the 170 kilo bench. My benching does not look like this now. There were so many adjustments I made with my grip, how I lower the bar, how the bar goes back up, my feet, the arch. So much went into the bench press to get it from this all the way up to a 170 kilo bench, recently a 160 kilo pause bench. You get the picture. You're going to run into roadblocks, and what got you from point A isn't going to be the thing that gets you to point B. People who give up on a movement very quickly are the people who will forever be stuck at either the late beginner stage or intermediate stage. And I say those stages because a beginner can do anything and get to a late beginner stage or an intermediate stage. Almost anything will work in the beginning because training is a novel stimulus. After some time, that is not the case anymore. You need to be smart about your training. You need to know what you're doing. There's going to be a little bit more complexity involved, and you need to be ready for that. So one of the reasons I've taken all these lifts to the place I've taken them is because I've been doing them for a very long time, and I've stuck with them in the hard times. Like any good relationship, you don't just leave your girl when things get tough. You figure it out, you get through it together, you're stronger. It's actually a great comparison. The next thing is, I kind of touched on it, is confidence and your mindset. I'm not going to lie, I have a lot of belief in myself when it comes to my training. Now, I have a lot of belief in myself because I practice what I preach, and I do this shit consistently. Every week I show up, and when you keep showing up every week and you keep getting that little bit stronger, your confidence and your self-belief is just going to compound over time. You're going to believe in yourself more and more and more. And like I said, when you meet a plateau and you get through it, that feels amazing. Like when you try a weight for the first time and you get it, that's a really nice feeling. But when you try a weight for the 5th time, you failed it 4 times before this, and you try the lift, it's incredible. It's a mixture of, oh my God, I did it. That was tough, that was amazing. And it's also a mixture of relief, like thank God I got it. A recent example I can give is my client, Johnny. We tried to get him up to a 110 kilo bench press, like four times I think, and the 5th time he got it, he was on cloud 9, as he should be. It just meant a lot more. So a lot of people are lacking a lot of self-belief. They're lacking in the self-belief department. Bit of a brain fart there.
That so
that is something you definitely want, is to have a little bit more be confident in yourself. Where that confidence is going to come from is you coming into the gym and applying yourself every session, going for those little wins, and those little wins compounding over time. That would help you with your increasing your own self-belief. What's the last thing? The last thing then is, this stuff is like learning a new skill. Learn how to play an instrument, learn how to, let's say, solo the ball on your bad foot if you're a Gaelic footballer. What do you do if you want to improve? If you want to improve your skills in any department, you expose yourself to it and you do it a lot more. So if you want to get really good at a lift, let's say the bench press, then it's a good idea to prioritize that movement and do it, increase your frequency. Do it 2, 3, 4 times a week. It depends on your goal. If there's a lift you really want to improve, then by increasing the frequency, you're going to learn how that movement, like what I talked about at the start, you're going to learn about that movement and learn how you move within that movement and learn how to move within that movement more optimally. Wow, that was a tongue twister. A lot faster than you would if you just did it once a week, for example. Like, I don't like doing movements more than once a week, but last year I sucked it up for the bench press. I did it twice a week and it helped. It got me to where I needed to be. So if you want to get better at something, just do it more. Just practice it more. There's that element of, yeah, we're lifting weights and we're training like close to failure and trying to get stronger, but there's that element of practice too. If you practice at the movement, you will get better at it. So that's all I'm going to discuss today. Become a movement specialist. Stick with movements. Have belief in yourself. And how you're going to have belief in yourself is by trying to increase the amount of work you're doing over time, whether it be more weight, reps, mainly weight. Try and increase the load incrementally over time. You're going to feel better about yourself every time you do that. You're going to gain confidence. And the last thing is just to practice the movement a little bit more. If you thought that was the most basic advice ever, that's fine. Fair enough. But that is literally what I've been doing with this stuff, and it has worked. It's gotten me to this point. Now there's other things involved as well, but like I said, I'm not giving this video any more time today. All that being said, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment below or reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you, and I will see you in the next video. If you're enjoying my content, please like, subscribe, and you can let me know what you want to see next. Until next time, have a good day, train hard.